There we go with that. Let's get this poll question going. And remind myself. Okay, good morning. It is 5:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on your own. Go ahead and inhale and exhale 3 times. Let's get some cleansing breaths going on. All right, I am Dr. Donna Thomas-Rodgers, and I am here today to teach you neuropability, teach you how to use your amazing, wonderful, awesome organ that is the brain, and to hold yourself personally accountable using the 74 principles of real leadership. A couple housekeeping notes to present to you today. This is informational, so therefore get some note-taking materials, whether they are printed like myself, with a notebook, a pen, and a highlighter, or digital, whatever one works best for you to create the best learning environment for yourself. Additionally, you will need a secondary device, as we will be using my website for some of this information today. That website is theturnarounddoctor.com. Make sure you add that 2 D's, doctor, the end of the around and doctor, because sometimes people miss that, and then you end up at somebody else's website. Now, once you're on the website, you're going to go to the 74 Principles of Real Leadership. Scroll down to Effective. We are on number 9 today in that section. Good morning, Regina. And we are on Go Above and Beyond. But before we get into that, let's talk about how we got here in the first place. Neurogenesis is your ability, or your brain's ability, to create new neurons. That then transitions into neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to wire new neural pathways, or click and connect some old neural pathways that weren't being used. That leads you to neuropability, which is the brain's ability to wire neural pathways of the 74 principles of real leadership, which creates unlimited abilities to hold yourself personally accountable to become your best. All that is done, and you get to use the executive function of your brain, which is the CEO of the brain, and it's located in the frontal lobe. With all that being said, let's get into it. Let's use your brain today. Go above and beyond. As I have mentioned while we were doing it in realistic and now we're in effective, I am defining each word in the 74 principles of real leadership, in the one that we review every day, so that you can get the full totality and meaning of that principle. And today we have go above and beyond. Without further ado, what is the definition of go? Go means to move or proceed, especially to or from something. To move or proceed, especially to or from something. So you can go to Loserville, or you can leave Loserville. You could go in that direction, and then you can turn around and go from it and come back over here to the land of real leaders. So go, to move or proceed, especially to or from something. In this instance, we are saying to proceed in a forward trajectory. Above. Above is at a higher level. Above. So if you're at this level and you go above, you're going to be at a higher level. So if you're down here and you go up here, you're going to be above the level in which you started. And if you are somehow located in Loserville, it's way, way, way down by the curb. And yeah, that's about it. It never goes to the galaxy, which is the Dr. Donna dictionary. Next, we have and, as well as, as well as. So you're going to be at a higher level, as well as beyond. And beyond is superior to, surpassing, or more than. So you're here, and to go above and beyond means that you're going to go up to a superior level, or you can go forward to another level. So you're here, and now you're going to go forward and no longer be where you are. What questions do you have about go above and beyond? So you're going to proceed at a higher level and surpassing where you were before. above and beyond. Thank you, Regina, for no questions. Does anyone else, do you have any questions about above and beyond? Okay. And I know I said I wasn't going to address the unaccountables, but don't come on my motherfucking channel talking about God. There's no way on God's green earth that God woke you up this morning and told you to come disrupt what God already told me to fuck to do. On no day. And damn motherfucking day. And yes, I said motherfucking. Because ain't no God in your bitch ass. You don't fucking get the fuck out of here with that manufactured ass bullshit. Ain't no way. God told your bitch ass to wake up and come on my live with some bitch ass bullshit. Take that bullshit somewhere else. You ain't heard from God in a very fucking long time. Fuck you coming over here interrupting me with some bullshit about somebody else's unbelieving ass fucking bullshit. Fucking believe in that bullshit. If you get the fuck out of here, it's a couple things I don't fucking play with, and God and Nola is two of them. Fucking coming over here with this bullshit. The fuck you think you are? Don't fucking play with God. I will fuck you up. God got gangster Christians too. You get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, bitch ass. Can't explain fucking shit. You can explain to me why the fuck you on my channel with some bullshit. As I was saying, go above and beyond. Move or proceed at a higher level every single day. Every single day. Now, why don't people go above and beyond? Because of unaccountable people. That's why you don't go above and beyond. If you used to go above and beyond, you stopped because of unaccountable people. That's number one. Because here's what unaccountable people do when you go above and beyond. They take complete advantage of your above and beyond. I have a video, 70%. Chris Henry is the one at the plant who a manufacturing manager many moons ago told me 70% is good enough. Not when a motherfucker is taking home a whole paycheck. No, it's not. No, it's not. Absolutely not. So if you are going above and beyond, know that there are one or more unaccountable people not going above and beyond, kicking it, chilling somewhere, doing less than. That's number one. So once you start going above and beyond, unaccountable people just expect it. They just expect you to go above and beyond while they do absolutely freaking nothing. Next, then they slack off and they do less and less and less and less. The more you do, the less they do. And then they have the unmitigated gall to then push you to do more. Go ahead, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Yes, sure. Of course you can. Absolutely you can do it. I'm going to sit over here and eat some bonbons. I don't even know if they still make bonbons, but that's how I see them, sitting up like a fucking couch potato, just consuming, and critiquing and criticizing the 3 C's. They just, while you over here about to die from your above and beyond. And what does that lead to? That leads to burnout. That leads to burnout. I think it's interesting that on Friday, people wake up and have absolutely nothing to do. It's like waiting for the weekend. So they decide that Nola, that they're going to come over here. So it leads to burnout. So I'll use my last example at Frito-Lay. The last job that I had at Frito-Lay, the worst position that I had the entire time I was at the company, but God gives you a whisper and then a yell to get the fuck out. That job position was open for 8 months. As I mentioned, the person who had the job prior to me almost got divorced. It was 43 facilities. So the job was called a mega zone manager. And what that role was that you manage the entire state of Alabama, parts of Mississippi, and parts of Tennessee. 43 facilities in all micro distribution centers and 2 macro distribution centers. You have 5 P&Ls, which totaled $20 million, and about 26 employees between the 2 facilities, 300 vehicles. That meant from June of 2010 to 2009 to 2010, if you were in all of the whole entire state of Alabama, parts of Mississippi, and parts of Tennessee, you purchased Frito-Lay from a vending machine, a convenience store, a grocery store, a Sam's Club, a Walmart, a Albertsons, a Publix, a Winn-Dixie, and so on and so forth. It came from one of my facilities. And I didn't even have one lead. I didn't have one manager. I had leads and a couple admins. I didn't even have an executive assistant. And I was going above and beyond. And that job was too much. And so finally, when I quit and left, because I'm me, then they hired 2 men to do the doggone job. That led to my burnout from going above and beyond, because the company was trying to save money. So they were going to make some downsizings in a couple of years. They was like, yeah, we're not going to expand, only to reduce headcount. That clearly was a dumbass plan. But me being me is like, yeah, I love a challenge. Challenge yourself. Sure, I can go down here and do this work. Not realizing that I did not have the support system or anything else to get it done. So my above and beyond led me to being in the hospital Memorial Day weekend in 2010 with panic attacks and palpitations and all of that. So I was on portable oxygen and EKG, portable EKG, trying to find somebody to come pick Nola up on Friday, Memorial Day, which is race weekend in Alabama. Anybody that's in that area knows you're not finding nobody. Fortunately, I did. Was able to get the person who normally was taking care of her, who didn't leave because she had to work too. And then we had to work that out. A month later, I was no longer at Frito-Lay. So my above and beyond took me to the point where Nola could have potentially been an orphan because her daddy ain't shit. So, whole other note for a whole different day. So that's why people don't go above and beyond, because of unaccountable people. You have no problem going above and beyond when everybody around you is going above and beyond too. You take great pain in going above and beyond to overcompensate for some unaccountable, one or more unaccountable people's antics. And then it is expected of you and then not of anybody else. Because I went above and beyond, the standard was raised for myself. My sister could just breathe and everybody was clapping because today she's sober. So unaccountable people know I could just do a little and then kind of do something and I'm going to get praised, and then I could go back to being regular, average, and just mediocre on a good day. That's what happens. So that's why people don't want to go above and beyond. It's not neurological. It's not like, well, what part of the brain makes you go? No. It's actually unaccountable people that makes everybody just sit back and say, I ain't doing it. I got a t-shirt that says, let that shit fall apart. Let that shit fall apart. And then perhaps maybe now some people will want to go above and beyond. Those are the reasons why, again, take advantage. Unaccountable people take advantage. It then becomes expected as normal. The unaccountable people slack off or do less. Then they push you to do more. And then you receive burnout. And they carry you off somewhere, put you out to pasture, and then look for their next above and beyond person. At no point are they thinking, maybe I should start going above and beyond. Absolutely not. Okay, so how do you go above and beyond? Because I'm still going above and beyond, and I've been gone for Frito-Lay for about to be 15 years on June 25th of this year. I'm still going above and beyond because it's one of the 74 principles of real leadership. And for those of you who are following this theory and philosophy, you do the same thing. So step one is you hold yourself and others personally accountable. That's what you do. You hold yourself and others personally accountable. And when I realized that Frito-Lay was letting people come in and do 70 and all that, okay, I'm out. I'm not going to be in this environment where people are not being held to the same exact standard and it's going to do your job and then above and beyond. Everybody need to be coming to work doing the job description at 100% because they're taking home 100% paycheck. If you want to do 70%, I ain't got no problem with that. Give me their 30% and let them take home 70%. That's how I see that. If I'm going to do someone else's work, then I need to be paid for doing their work. I need to be compensated for my above and beyond, and they don't need to be compensated for my above and beyond. We both not, they don't get the win too. You're not putting in the effort. So you hold yourself and others personally accountable. What I'd also like to say is, as I was doing this research this morning, everything about above and beyond was related to work. Nothing was related to parenting. Nothing was related. It was all job, 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 work, 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 the work environment. Now, I may needed to have scrolled down, but I had saw enough to say, so you only going above and beyond at work. There is no above and beyond for parenting. There is no above and beyond for your relationships, your friendships, and you don't even, the thought of it was so low that all it was this work. Going above and beyond is in your every single day. Every single day in everything that you do. Because there are people who go above and beyond at work and come home and they're terrible spouses and terrible siblings and parents and everything else. But that job bringing in all that bread, well, that because I work hard, so I can be late. I ain't got to talk to you. We ain't got to do homework. Ain't no family day, ain't no date night or nothing else because of how hard I work. I can do whatever I want. No, you can't. No, you can't. Everybody else should not be sacrificing because that's unaccountable too. So you go above and beyond at work, and now you can't sit down and have a conversation with your significant other for 15 minutes because you're tired because you gave it all to the people at the job. That's being unaccountable, and that's not above and beyond either. Don't sign up for shit if you can't be personally accountable to get it done. So you hold yourself personally accountable and everybody around you. And I've given several examples from my time in the military, as well as Frito-Lay, and even in small business. I have fired clients like, you ain't get the shit done, you done. And no, you can't come back. And if you recommended somebody, they could go with your ass because chickens of a feather flock together, exit stage left. So that's number one. Hold yourself and others personally accountable on the daily basis. Number two, set and maintain boundaries. Set and maintain boundaries. Safety is a boundary for me. If I'm maintaining my bound. If you're doing something unsafe, you're gonna have a problem with me. Obviously, y'all saw if you're talking about God told you to do something, you're gonna have a problem with me too. But be unsafe, and that is a boundary. I'm not crossing an unsafe boundary for nobody. That is not above and beyond. Nola did something that was unsafe yesterday, and she almost saw Jesus. So you set and maintain your boundaries. If you turn your phone off at 9 p.m. every night to go to sleep, and someone said, well, I called you. What time was it? 10:30? That's why you got voicemail. That is why you got, I don't give people my phone number. You're not calling me. What's your number? I can give you my email. No, I'm going to call you. I can give you my email. Which email do you want? Is this business or personal? Because and if it ain't really, really important, you get an AOL email. So if you have the AOL email, you are low on the food chain. You're not even getting the Gmail. That's because I know if I'm going over there, it's some shit from 1996. So set and maintain boundaries, and your boundaries are your boundaries. You get to set and maintain them, whatever they are. Mine is you're not getting my phone number. I ain't gonna be in the group chat. No group chats for me. Absolutely not. And people really like, damn, I gotta send an email. You sure do. I need a subject line or I'm not opening it up. And it will say potential spam and send you to junk mail. So I might not even see it if it's not formatted correctly. Set and maintain boundaries. Number 3, 9 out of 10 times you are saying no. No is a complete sentence. Nobody ever asked you to explain your yes, but as soon as you say no, it's almost like trying to get a real ID. You got to justify every reason why you didn't say no. How come yes is a complete sentence, but no isn't? They're both complete sentences. Would you like to? No. Would you like to? Yes. Done. They are both viable answers for closed-ended questions. So 9 out of 10 times you're saying no. If you know that you are around a group of unaccountable people, don't waste your above and beyond. You want to? Nope. Absolutely not. Back in the day, I never got in a car. If it was going to be 5 of us in one car, my answer was no. Because when you got 5 young ladies in the car, y'all look desperate. And my legs are long, and I'm not putting one leg on this side and the other side trying to figure it out. There were times when people went places, and I found out about it later, and I said, why you hadn't asked me to go? Oh, you was going to be the 5th person. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Not going to happen. If everybody can't be sitting, plus from a safety perspective, that person in the middle somehow always gets injured in the event that there is an accident. So no for me. No. 9 out of 10 times. No and motherfucker are 2 of my favorite words in the English language. No. Because your above and beyond got you in a precarious situation. And as Nola reminded me earlier this week, you have the right to turn a previous yes into a current no. You can come back and you can say, hey, remember that yes? Hey, I'm gonna need that back. No. You can just email, text, communicate however you communicate and get your no's back. Get your no's back. Just no. Get your yeses back. I'm gonna need that yes back. What you need? My yes back. You want to drop it off? You want me to pick it up? How you want to? No, that's going to give you the ability to go above and beyond. You actually have the right to do that. Unaccountable people renege on what the fuck they said every day. No, I can see what happened, and then but wait a minute, but now no, because I know that's what I told you, but they got some slick willy shit. There's some pimp shit, and 3 reasons why they can't do what they said they was gonna do. And keep your word is one of the 74 principles of real leadership as well. So just get your yes back. I'm gonna need that back. Just like they give you money back, go ahead and get your yes back. Then you can provide coaching for people. So as people are learning how to do the above and beyond, provide coaching is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. So you can support them in their endeavors to go above and beyond, because sometimes people don't have the neural pathways to go above and beyond. Their brain is not naturally wired. No one's is. It's basically because of negativity bias. So if you think of negativity bias is always about this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, going above beyond means that you actually have to have some good. You got to think positive. You got to have a skill set. You got to be in your frontal lobe using the executive function of your brain. So as a person who holds themselves personally accountable, you can start to provide coaching for other people in your life to do the same thing. The next one is lead by example. You have to lead by example. I say all the time, I am the standard by which excellence is measured, especially when it comes to neuropability, because I am the one who created all of this. So you lead by example. I have, because my life is reflective of being the best and leading by example, when I am working with my daughter and I am making her go above and beyond, I got this big ass Verizon wireless network of leading by examples of excellence behind me. So I'm saying now, when I was in a similar situation, here's how I got to excellence in that standard, here in that situation. Here's how I went above and beyond in that situation. It was interesting that we were at an appointment where we mounted 30 pictures, 29 pictures, mirrors, frames, things like that at one appointment. And the person has a new home. And so the builders were still there. They had to come fix something. And I was telling that person, this is what independent contractors do. This is how they talk. This is how they behave. No sooner than I said they come in, they don't have booties, they don't have drop cloths. Then the independent contractor came, snagged her, the bedspread, left dust, and didn't have booties. I said, see, that's that second mile service and that above and beyond that they just don't have, which is why at some point this year, NOLA is going to start training independent contractors to provide for 5-star service, because it is much needed. So you lead by example. Now that she has over 1,000 5-star reviews, she's got people's attention now because they're like, shit, never asked for a review ever, never, ever. Leading by example. And then the last one is handle conflict when it occurs. If you are going above and beyond and someone is sitting at a Chris Henry 70% level, there is going to be conflict. And a conflict that is going to happen is that there is going to be a structural conflict, a relation conflict, and a values conflict. So you're going to have 3 different types of conflict going on because the values and the beliefs and everything and the work ethic is not aligned. And so you are going to have to sit down and handle that conflict in that moment to understand why the 70% average Crescendry person is not going above and beyond. Maybe they're sick, maybe they don't have the skill set, but always seek first to understand and then be understood. And if they're just an unaccountable loser, they can exit stage left. I always have told people when I had to discharge people from the military, chapter them out, or even when I worked at Frito-Lay, people would get mad at me and say, I fired that person. No, I didn't. They fired themselves. I just followed the procedures for termination of employment or chaptering a person out of the military, because the book tells you what you need to do to stay in the military or to keep your job. So I don't fire you. I give you progressive discipline and you end up firing yourself. That's how that goes. So you handle conflict when it occurs immediately, because there is a conflict. If I'm going above and beyond and you're here at the 70 level and I'm above that, then we're going to have problems, because you're going to sit your unaccountable ass down and start making excuses, and then we're definitely going to have some problems. So the number one reason why you go above and beyond is to be the best. Is to be the best, because that is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. Now, neuropability makes it possible to go above and beyond, and everyone can wire new neural pathways to go above and beyond. So what questions do you have about how to go above and beyond and why you do it. You're actually doing it for you. Your above and beyond is not for anybody else. You are going to get the skill set. You are going to get the benefits. And at the end of your above and beyond, you're going to get your very own customized natural dopamine boost. That's for you. There are 6.8 billion adults in the world, and 6.8 billion adults are unfulfilled. And they are doing all these other things besides the 74 principles of real leadership, which would allow you to have this fulfilled, meaningful existence every single day of your life. Does it require neuroplasticity and neurogenesis? Yes. Neuropability is part of it. But once you start wiring your brain for daily personal accountability, you wake up doing things differently, feeling differently, and you go to sleep without the use of a sleep aid. You don't need to tie one on or pop an Ambien or I just need a little bit of relaxing enough. You don't, because you have given your brain everything that it needs for the day. And then in turn, your brain fulfills you and gives you everything that you need. So what questions do you have about how to go above and beyond and why you actually go above and beyond? Okay. Next on the agenda is go to the website, theturnarounddoctor.com, if you are not already there. You want to go to your social media tab, to the social media tab. It's not your tab, it's mine. Letters from Louise. And you're going to scroll all the way down. Okay. Is it not letting me? Okay, I was about to say I can't get to my own point. Yes, it is. Your daily dopamine in the right way because it's not manufactured. I agree with you, Regina. And so again, the turnarounddoctor.com, you're going to the social media tab, scroll down, third from the bottom, you are going to another. If you have not done so, go ahead and vote in the poll question. And you're going to read Another, which is the first poem that I ever wrote in my life. And then we're going to switch to a YouTube playlist starting tomorrow. And you will be looking at different types of Dr. Donna content. We'll have some fun with that. And again, once you're finished reading Another, you go ahead and put ... and then whatever your takeaways, reflections, action items, ahas, all of that. Yes, it actually came from, and I'm not a fan of Oprah's, but long ago, way back in the 80s, 90s, because we were still living on Curtis, she said it to someone that it shows up as a whisper. And then it gets louder and louder and louder and louder until you are sitting in the hospital because God will say, leave, 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 leave. And now you're like, oh, okay. But at the time that big giant leave, it could be decades. It might be a couple months, but it gets real bad. And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse until you finally hear this ain't where you supposed to be. Now get out. Okay, get out, get out. So that's what happens. So I probably added a little bit more over the course of my life, but Oprah is the one who said it's a whisper. And then it gets louder and louder. And next thing you know, you in shit show palooza because you didn't hear the stop, walk away. The door is always there though. The exit just becomes harder to see at that point. And this was portly Oprah that said it. So when you finish reading another ... and then whatever comes up for you. The last thing. Yes, we have a lot of MOTS, more of the same. We need market disruptors. I agree. Thousands and thousands, if not millions of MOTS. MOTS on MOTS on MOTS. MOTS on MOTS on MOTS. There we go. Regina, makes me think of the need to change and be creative. Also, there is a need to get to the root of a problem and exercise the cause. Excise the cause. Yes. Right. So doing the root cause analysis will definitely get to the heart of the problem. Here's what I will say additionally. Another is simpler to do. And as we know, by the time you get in the 7th grade, it's elementary school, you could be anything you want. By the time you're in the 7th grade, they're getting you ready for the workforce. And they're telling you, yeah, do this. And by they, I mean school, the principals, the administrators, the teachers are saying, and corporations are saying, hey, these jobs we're going to need in 5 to 7 years, telling them to do all this stuff. And what happens is it's lopsided. So currently we have 1 million young men in 16,000 schools trying to play football. And we have a shortage of welders, plumbers, all kind of day-to-day people that we need. Skilled labor is at an all-time low right now. But the money is in sports and entertainment. And so that's where everybody is going. But people want to go to the doctor and they're mad because they got to wait 6 hours for a doctor, 2 months or 6 hours when you get there for a doctor's appointment. But you told everybody to be an influencer. You told everybody to go and get some quick money over here. And medical school takes a very long time. And nursing, PCAs, and nurse practitioners and all that. But those are the things that we actually need on a daily basis. And that requires neuroplasticity, neurogenesis, and now currently neuropability. So it's easier to just lump everybody. And then what happens is you create this big surplus. So those industries get to pick and choose who they want. And as we mentioned yesterday, that in the last handle, the structural conflicts, well, we can only have one. I used to date a DJ that used to be on the evenings from 6 to 10. They called them the Hot Boys. And they wanted to get on the morning slot, but the morning slot was playing Russ Parr and Tom Joyner. Went from Tom Joyner to Russ Parr, so they couldn't get in that 5 to 9 to 6 to 10 a.m. morning slot, and they were actually better. So that happened. So now they kept saying, well, you need to do this, you need to do this, we need to see this, we need to see this. And eventually both of them left the station and went on to do other things. So as a result, everything ends up being another. It's easier. Let's just have everybody do the exact same thing, and now everybody's the same. Now, when it's time for innovation, there is no innovation. And I saw this on TikTok somewhere where a CEO said what happens is in corporations, all of the recalcitrants, the rubber rousers, and the creative people get weeded out. Because the higher up you go in the corporate chain, the more Pepsi pretty and the more politically correct you need. So you lose all of that innovation and that grit. It's gone. By the time, once you get to band one or director level, All of that's gone, and everybody starts looking good, like they got their suit on with that stupid blue background, and that's it. And now you have to start acquiring new companies, or you go down, steal somebody's idea, and come back up to the top and say, look at my new idea. Because it's easier to have conformity bias and make everybody fit into these boxes where people that are in positions of power and authority feel great, and then there is no innovation. When Netflix first came out, we thought it was stupid. I still have my Blockbuster card. Netflix turned into streaming, and now everything is streaming. And who knew? But I was like, why would you mail a CD and then send it back? You could just go to Blockbuster. But it was innovative, completely innovative. And that's what happens is another. And then what happens is it's no longer profitable. You're not creating these sigmoid curves. Research and development is not taking place because you had to work so hard to get to where you are. You don't think that you're ever going to not be on top. Where's the Sears and Roebuck? It's hard to find a Radio Shack, a JCPenney's, Kresge's, Woolworth. All of those things are gone. Circuit City, all that. Like, damn, where did all that stuff go? Because it was just another one. And the market didn't need that anymore because Amazon came and hell, everybody, what Amazon, Walmart didn't see Amazon coming. Walmart was shook for about 5 years before they figured out, wait a minute, we are not the biggest person in town, in the world, in the country anymore. So another one is not good. When you decide that you're going to do something, and I've told this to Nola her whole entire life, is you make it better or you make it cheaper. You actually do market analysis, and people do business plans all the time and literally say, I'm going to do a SWOT analysis, and they don't. And they say, well, we on the left side of the corner instead of the right. That's what makes us different. That's our unique selling proposition. No, it's not. If you're not making it better, you're not using Say's law to make it cheaper, don't go in business. And if you don't like your job and you think you're about to be an entrepreneur, just keep your ass at a job because you can make a terrible entrepreneur. I've seen it happen too many times. So the point is that you either need to make it better, make it cheaper, or disrupt the whole damn market. People go online and take online courses all the time, but nobody I read the University of Phoenix book and how hard it was and how much the government and universities was saying, no, this ain't a real school. And all the gentleman wanted to do was to make it so that people who worked full time could actually still earn a degree to get in a better position in 3 to 4 years. That's what it was designed to do. It was a void in the marketplace and it was needed. And then here comes all this other shit. And when people talk about Ford, they don't realize that ALMA, the Automotive whatever association, Ford had to go to court. They were telling him to stop making these vehicles. And it was a big to-do for a long time before he could actually then go and start doing lean the assembly line and all of that. So people just say Ford. But no, that's not how that popped off. People were trying to stop him. You wouldn't be in the F-150, 250, 350, a dually or none of that if Alma had their way, because it was like, what is he doing? This little individual, And so you're either going to be a disruptor or you're going to make it better or you're going to make it cheaper. And I talked about this on my video this morning for the Real Leader Brain, another one. But I've done research, literally. I will go and just, for shits and giggles, go and research leadership experts. You can do it on your own, on a social media platform. Do it. And you will go to their pages, doesn't matter gender. Everybody will have the same format, these amazing quotes, graphically designed. They got their book, their teleseminar, their webinar. They're getting ready to have their conference. And it's all the same. It's just another one. It's just another one with same shit, different outfit. That's all it is. That's all it is another one. And that's why people have such difficulty processing me. Because they come in the somatic markers of the brain, wants to grab bits and pieces of information and say, this is what she is. And y'all gonna be wrong on purpose. I do it on purpose. I got these brain t-shirts on, same wigs and everything, no nails, face ain't done, no jewelry or nothing. And you trying to figure it out. And you over here like, God bless you. And God told me, no, the fuck God didn't. You're like, hold up, wait a minute. Where's that? Where's that coming from? Because I'm not another one. I have a PA for the day that says the next or the only. There is only one me. They broke the mold. God broke the mold. He said, this is right here. We can't, the world can't even take 2 of these. So we good. But this whole concept of another one. And then they kill me. Oh, this is the new pop star. This is the new such and such. And this is the next. No, the only. That is why anytime you try to put me in a box, you got to combine several people. Well, you know, she's sort of like a cross between, and then when I was a public speaker, they used to say, you remind me of Eric Thomas. You remind me of, were you like a cross between Gary Vee and Eric Thomas, which because you curse too, because you're trying to put it together. You're trying to say she is another, and I'm not. I'm absolutely not. Literally not at all. And that's why it takes people a minute, because you don't know whether you like me or not. You kind of like, and just when you think you know me, here comes something like, damn, I didn't even know that. Because I am not another, and nobody should be. You were born an original. Do not die a copy. Do not let capitalism or any, and I won't even say capitalism, the people who created capitalism and who support it, do not let them turn you into a bot. Do not. Well, this is what we need to see. Pepsi pretty. I'm pretty, but I'm not Pepsi pretty because I can't do the political thing. So I saw the writing on the wall. I was like, I'm going to get less and less and less of myself. With the more money I make, the less of me is going to be there. So yeah, I'm good. I'm out. I'm not doing it. Even as the company grade officer, I was like, oh no, by the time you make colonel, you ain't even going to recognize yourself. So I'm good. Y'all can have all of this. I will move on. Kevin, you said the longer you live, the more manufactured ideas you'll see. That is correct. I walk in the store now when my mother said, that ain't nothing but the such and such, when they were sampling music from the 70s. And now I'm in the store and I'm like, I tell you what, I wore platforms in the 70s and the 90s. I'm not putting them shoes on again. I'm a stiletto and a flat. I'm not doing clunky heel with the, no, I'm not doing palazzo pants. I'm not doing high-waisted pants. I'm not, my clothes are my clothes. I'm not coming back with the back new and improved. I wore Daisy Dukes. I'm not wearing short shorts, pom poms, whatever they got them. I'm good. I'm not doing that again. That is what's actually taking place. So this poem came as my first poem. This was my attempt at poetry. First time as a novice, neophyte, however you want to call it. And I wanted to come out with a bang because I can't really, I'm like, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to disrupt poetry as we know it. Right. Don't die a copy. And that's what's happening. And you look back, and that's why I always tell people, if you forget who you are, go back to your elementary school photos, because that's when you were still pure. Nobody would say you got your princess outfit on, your Mr. T, your gold chain, whatever it is. Go back to those photos. That's why I talk about my 5th grade photo, because I lived in the damn hood. For real. Like straight up hood, okay? For real, the hood. Now, it wasn't the ghetto, but it was the hood. Definitely the damn hood. And here I am with a tweed suit on in 1984. That was not, that wasn't, if we go back to see what was trending, little girls in the hood didn't have their little tootie mushroom ponytail with a whole suit on, and pleated skirt and white tights and velvet ballerina flats. No, that was not the move. That was Jordache and Gloria Vanderbilt, EBS sneakers. You had your little polo shirt on and stuff. But you definitely was not showing up at Stewart Elementary School looking like you was on your way to Wall Street. Looking like Melanie Griffin and Working Girl. That was the suit part, not the other part. Okay. So another one. Don't be another one. Don't do your best to not be another one. Soon, I promise you, people try to put me in a box. I'm like, nah, this ain't. And I have a Dr. Donna quote that says, why would you play in a sandbox when the world can be your playground? The whole world, especially now with the internet, do not let unaccountable people conform you. And you want this confirmation bias and this conformity bias, this gender bias, ageism, sexism, and all these other things with this stupid ass superior complex and inferior complex. Fuck all that. Hold yourself personally accountable to become the best and watch how your life changes on your own without a host of other unaccountable people. So do not die a copy because it makes them comfortable and they can put you in your place. You ain't. I don't have a place. I got space to move around and do whatever it is, and you have the exact same thing, 100%. So no, do you have any, what questions do you have about another? I don't think that you do, but if you do. So yes, that was my first poem. We've read all 28 of my poems. We will switch to the 60-second strategy playlist. You'll watch a video, and then we'll have an open discussion about that starting tomorrow. Do not die a lesser version of yourself because of trying to fit in. And Maslow's hierarchy of need, level 3, you want to be with your family and your stuff, Malene, your stance. So you stay the fucking same. Not at all. It's boring. I promise you it's boring being the same. That's why people are addicted to manufacturing dopamine. If life wasn't boring, people would not be like, "Oh, I need some adventure. I love watching the reality TV, the drama." If you had your own dopamine, you wouldn't even be interested in that. It wouldn't be popular. And I'm calm and quiet on purpose on my videos, and I keep using my Snapchat lenses and all of that while all this other stuff is trending, because that shit's gonna look dated in another 2 years. That whole format is gonna go away. And that's why you can still watch all my old videos, because the content is real. You can tell that the camera has changed, but the information is still the information. Okay, next. Handle conflict when it occurs was the follow-up from yesterday. Wait, before I do that, let me reveal the poll questions, because the other time I did a poll question, I didn't. I got all the way to the end and clicked out and realized. So there were 8 votes to the poll questions. Thank you for those of you who voted and were honest. Do you go above and beyond daily? 87% said yes. 12% said no. That's only 99, but somehow the math is mathematic because it was even. Yes. So if you are still on here, explain your vote. Explain your vote. I do go above and beyond on a daily basis. As I mentioned earlier in the week, or last week, was it? I think it was earlier this week. I tried to not do it, and my neural pathway said, "Bullshit. You ain't gonna get dinner till you do what you need to do." How about that? How about no dinner and no sleep? So I calibrated my own self. And while you're explaining your answer, thanks to the person that popped the live off, I now have a new Dr. Donna's dictionary, and it's called a Pharishan, and it's a fake ass Christian. So will take away something from everybody. Reminds me of when they told Jesus he was working on the Sabbath. You are explaining your answer to your poll question. Kevin, I go above and beyond because I always believe that your work is your signature, and I want everybody to know my work when they see it. Yes. And you may or may not know this, Kevin, but when they first started building the Apple computer, Steve Jobs' adopted father was a carpenter. And so Steve had them sign the inside of the computer. And it's like, why are we signing the inside of the computer? Can't nobody see that. He said, we know it's there. And he said his father, on the back of whenever he built furniture, he would still paint the back and finish the back, because most of the time that part isn't finished because it's going to be up against the wall. He said, it doesn't matter. We built this, so we know that it's there. That's why the packaging, when you open any products, Apple products, or anything, he thought about everything, because all of that is above and beyond. Even the way the stores are designed was all by design. All right, Noah, he was Jesus, though. Wouldn't that the day he was supposed to work, being the Son of God? Yes. I mean, people's reading comprehension is off. And people pick and choose the parts that work for them. And if it doesn't work, somehow they didn't get to that part. I just know if you coming over here talking about what God said, you ain't heard from God. Sadducees and Pharisees and a bunch of false ass prophets. And I will say this, I said the song that got me through was Never Would Have Made It. I saw the video of Marvin Sapp telling them to close the doors to get that 40,000. So I will not be mentioning him again, and I will no longer be listening to his music under no circumstances. And I'm saying that because I said that was my favorite song. I used it a lot, but no. So you will not hear me mention or listen to any of that ever again. And I'm not telling you that that's what you need to do. I'm telling you that that's a personal choice that I'm making. No, I go above and beyond because of the detail I do when I work in precise and efficient. And yes, and my work is precise and efficient. And with athletes, I look at their whole sport background to assess and present them. That is correct. You do. You go all the way back to the first time they put a uniform on. And I go above and beyond because I lead by example, and people need to see what's possible. When I tell you that I post over 85, probably about 95 times a day, now that I'm gonna eliminate between 90 and 95 times a day, you can then post once or twice a day or 4 times a day across multiple platforms because I'm showing you what's actually possible. And then Regina, did you type yours? Because I want to make sure that it's there before I move on. For Kevin and Noah, you can go ahead and start typing up your how did you handle conflict when it occurred yesterday? And if you had the amazing day of not having any conflict occur, then you can type that as well. So the conflict that I had yesterday was with my amazing offspring. She was doing some work at a client's home, and I needed to go back to our house to pick up a piece of equipment. And the client was rearranging their Airbnb. And so she had couches, a couch and a love seat. So she had the current couch that needed to go in the garage so someone could pick it up. And then she had new love seat and couches that were delivered. I gave specific instructions to my amazing offspring. So she was supposed to go in the house, start understanding what needed to be done, and then come back out to get me. I'd been in the car for a long time. So I go in, and there's already a couch in the garage. But I'm like, how'd the couch get in the garage? Or I moved that. Okay, what else needs to be done? I said, what about the couch on the other side? Yep, I got to move that too. Okay. She tells me she needs me to go back home to get this board. Okay, cool. It's going to be 40 minutes round trip. So I look her in her little eyes and I say, don't bring the couch in until I get back. And she says, okay. I said, I mean it. I'm going to give you a knuckle sandwich. So I leave and I go back, and she likes the hibiscus berry lemonade from Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. So I said, okay, cool. I'm because I gotta pass it anyway. So I'm gonna go get her this hibiscus berry tea. I walk in the house. I don't see the couch or the love seat on the side of the house. I come in, and the whole room has been set up. And this little human being has decided that she gonna do it anyway. Now, I told her, the reason why I told her don't bring the couch in, number one, because the couch is bigger than you, but she had to take it from the side of the house. And going through the front, she was going to have to go over the rock desert landscape and bring it through the door. If she went through the back of the house, she was going to have to walk past the pool. And she can't swim, and nobody else was in the house. So it was a safety thing. And then I come back in, and it's all done. And so I'm saying, I told you not to do this because it's a safety factor. No one is here. What if you fell on a rock? What if the couch fell on you? And all these other things. And she didn't take that into consideration. So she was about nanoseconds away from getting the dog shit choked out of her for not being safe, because she was being unsafe. So ended up having the conversation, handled the conflict when it occurs. She says she took all that into consideration. And again, we know going forward, should that happen again, y'all may not see either one of us on the live, because I'll be in a 72-hour hold in Clark County, and she's probably going to be in one of the local hospitals somewhere, because it was completely 1,000% on a scale of 1 to 2 unsafe. Unsafe at all. Should she have done that? Kevin had no conflict. Virginia, your answer is, I find that I always listen deeply to what people are saying, pay attention to their body language, and respond in a way that is tailor-made for them and specific to their needs, and create genuine, authentic relationships. Okay, kudos to you, Kevin, for not having a conflict. And what Enola said, I did take that into consideration. The love seat was passed by the pool, and a couch through the front door. So we had our conflict. Personal, internal conflict resolved when I went to acupuncture. Yes, that is correct. Okay. And I'm saying because you told me that when you sent your stuff in. Okay. So today's real leader principle is go above and beyond. So today, go ahead and go above and beyond. And again, if you have to hold others personally accountable in order for you to go above and beyond, which Nola has to do with her clients prior to appointments and sometimes at appointments, so that, because if you Part of the reason why you can't do above and beyond is because somebody's being unaccountable, and you can't hold them accountable and go above and beyond. Well, they can't be unaccountable and you actually get to your above and beyond. So you hold them personally accountable. So you are doing your part because they've done their part. Yes, and what Nola is talking about is there's an appointment school that we go to do work there. They work with children with autism, and I hate going to the school, and I couldn't figure out why. So as soon as she told me that we had that appointment, I was like, oh, I was just doing all this, and I was like, what the hell is it? And it's because we go on the appointments every Saturday, and the inside of the lobby area, the person there is watching 60 Minutes, and my mother used to watch 60 Minutes all the time, and that is it gives me PTSD. And some of the things we built in that room. So we literally we were in that room for like 2 hours listening to the 60 minutes, 15 minutes to 60 minutes because it's on streaming, and it was just affecting me. So by this third time, because this is going to be I think our third appointment there, I just went off and couldn't figure out what was. She's like, what the hell is going on? But it was that just like I can't stand the theme song in Taxi. Because as soon as my mother got home from work on Friday night, she turned Taxi on and tell us we hadn't seen her, trying to talk to her. She's like, no, braiding up her afro and telling us to be quiet because her show was on. So that's what that conflict was. That's what she's talking about. I think I got more PTSD from her than anything else. All right. So again, your above and beyond is for you, not them. It produces natural dopamine. To close out, what did you learn today? Won't get the time if I close it off. Kevin says, I learned why would you play in a sandbox when the world can be your playground? And I learned, once again, I know y'all like, Dr. Donna, don't show me another empty big pen. Do y'all see this is a brand new pen? Right? That's how much ink is in there. Do y'all know that this pen is still writing? Look at that. Still writing. Big. Undefeated. Still writing. Still. Best investment ever. No is a complete sentence and don't die a copy. And Nola is sick of me saying it. I'm like, man, and I'm just testing it. Like, how much more can I write before it's gone? That's why they're like, we're big. We're not changing the body. We ain't doing nothing. We're going to let you see what you get for your money. This bad boy right here, let me tell you. Listen, they are on the money. Best pen ever for as much as I have to write. Definitely getting pound for pound, pen for pen, word for word. Big is the business. For real, for real. Make that a highlight and send that to them. There we go. 49 seconds. Okay. I'd just like to circle back again from the person from this morning. I do not play when it comes to my belief in a higher power, which I call God. I will never let a fruition come and tell me something that I did not hear first. I know that they're not hearing from a higher power, because to come and interrupt me with that shows that you did not hear that. You're being told by some fake ass pastor to go and do this to bring people over because the sinners are out there in the world, and their pastor wouldn't know a real Christian if they said, hey, God told me to tell you. So it's in decency and order. You never interrupt somebody that's already doing something that has been appointed and anointed and divinely designed. So at no point am I ever going to let that take place. And for those of you who are like, oh my God, but you're using curse words and that's not Christ-like. Know where the fuck you got that from? Words are words. And all the wars in the Bible, how you think they got fought? They sent gangsters over there to make that shit happen. Okay? So doth not do that. It's not gonna work. Motherfucker, get that bullshit out of here. Okay? I'm speaking to that evil spirit that then came over here and thought they was doing something, and I ain't never seen. Oh, if you could just stop, you could just, did God really tell you to that this morning? Thank you, bless the highway, baby, bless going in and bless going out the highways and the byways. I'm not doing that bullshit. Not happening. You disruptive. You didn't hear from it, and I'm gonna call you on your shit every time. And more people need to do that. Thinking that, oh, I can't say this because they're fuck that. You came over here talking some stupid shit. You get what you get. I didn't realize how many areas I was going above and beyond. That is correct, my amazing offspring. So if that offends you, for the one other two people that's over here, fuck you, and you can leave too. Don't care. How can she believe in God? And I do. I actually do. But I also believe that a motherfucker need to get checked. And just because they put God bless you in front of it, don't eliminate them from fucking catching these words. That's what I believe too. I believe you did not hear and you lying, and I'm gonna call your motherfucking ass out every time. Every single time. I've ignored a couple other people that was on here. But what you're not about to do is come and lie on Big G. That's never gonna happen. Never, ever, ever. I will call your ass out every fucking time. And we can fist fight on that bullshit. Kevin said yesterday, you don't want no smoke. I tell you who you don't want. You don't want me defending God smoke. Because that's some shit. That's a fourth dimension level. That's what I will say. You ain't seen me mad. I promise you have not. You don't want that. You definitely don't want that. So if that offends you, go away. Because you in the wrong spot. Because I'm not going to let that shit ever pass. Not ever. And I don't care if somebody said, well, we're going to fuck with her today. Okay, the Bible said don't touch my anointed. So you go ahead and try to do that shit too. And then you really going to get messed up when it's all said and done. You're going to get a word thrashing over here and then try to figure out why shit is so fucked up in your life for a while. That's how that goes. So if that offended you, you got upset by that, and this is something that you can't do anymore, then go get your neural pathways completed somewhere else. That's how I see that. With that being said, I will be back, God willing, higher power in the universe, por la mañana. Same time, same place, same face, different t-shirt. You all go off and just go above and beyond, and don't pay attention to the unaccountable Chris Henrys, because they just regular and average, and at some point, God willing, they can go either learn how to be personally accountable, or they become part of the minority, and we ain't even fucking paying attention to them no more. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Adios.